Hey everyone, you know the dealio. Um, I am just getting the link and then just sending it to myself so that I can send it out there on various places. I will discuss. Oh, I will mute. I will mute things first. Um, I say this every time, but I will figure out to like preset a link or something like that. Okay, at least I can look the site now. Hello, everyone. Today, look, South Africa is still going through the most with load shedding and and things. Um, Load shedding is basically power cuts, rolling blackouts. So we've got that happening. We've got the fuel price is just going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. It's and obviously that has a knock-on effect. Food prices are flipping expensive. Yeah, things are hectic for South Africans. Um, but what can you do but continue? You have to continue and just keep on trying things, you know? Um, it's actually hectic because people that you wouldn't think are struggling right now. So it's like hitting everyone. And for once, I think it's not just in South Africa. If I have to look at the different bigger countries out there, the US, the UK, Europe, various places in South America, whatever, it's so hectic everywhere. That's why I think things like this for myself, expressing my creativity, whether it be through doing something like this or doing the actual creativity, it's so cathartic. It's so cathartic. Um, and for me, I know that creativity is my release, and I definitely need it. Um, Above and beyond therapy, you have to go out there and live your life and find out what your cathartic thing is. If you can afford to go to therapy, go for it. We're all traumatized at this age, at like the mid-30 age group. Um, so yeah, I'm not even gonna ask. Such a hard start today, eh? Let me give you a little bit of an inkling what I'm going to be doing today. I'm not going to be showing any workflows or things like that. I am going to be, we're going on a journey. We are going to check out, we are going to check out my work, and we are going to be talking about my career. Um, in general, my career is in a good space now. Look, every industry is volatile for whatever reason, whether it be shipping shortages or just everything is just having a knock-on effect on everything. People say that the pandemic messed up things. Obviously, it did. But I think even if the pandemic didn't happen, who would still be hitting the fan in various industries? The pandemic just highlighted supply chain ineffectiveness and just a general host of things. I think the pandemic perhaps was a bit of a hard blessing in disguise. Look, I know people passed away, like we all lost loved ones and things like that. But I think it was necessary just to give people a bit of a bit of a reboot with the way that they think. It hasn't hit everyone. I would say it maybe hit like everyone got like a shock, but then probably let's say about 40% of the people like the shock stuck, and 60% of the people, I'm talking about like globally, this is just like a rough generalization. Pe- People just couldn't give a hoot. They're just back to normal, back being terrible people. Um, but yeah, so let's talk about what I'm going to show you. I've got my show reel from, so let me first show you something as to why I'm talking about this today. I just gonna bring this over quickly, just waiting for it to. My laptop is so slow. Faster, buddy, faster. You can't be 100% disk now. You're embarrassing me in front of the people. Okay, that I can close. Sorry, I'm just closing things in my task manager here. Things that don't need to be open. Okay, so I am busy doing this. It's sort of what I'm doing here is following what uh, the the CV update project that I'm doing in XD. I say I'm doing it. I probably work on it like 10 minutes every day. That's not enough. I need like a day or 2 days where I just work on that, and I think I will be finished. But it's probably at any given time, it's about 2 weeks away from being done, because just a few stuff. I'm close to being done. I'm about 90%. Yeah, about 88% done with it. So if you don't know, I'm teaching myself XD, like learning tutorials and things like that. Adobe XD, it's a prototyping UX UI tool. Um, and that is obviously in addition to all of the other Adobe softwares that I use for work. I'll have a look at my work machine. It is Photoshop, it is Adobe Illustrator, it is Premiere, it is After Effects, it is Audition, and now it is XD. The other software things like Dreamweaver and InDesign, I don't know. Um, I've not really had need for it in sort of what I do over my career. Um, but yeah, so this is what I was doing. I saw Beyonce actually updated. I made a story of it on Instagram. They updated some things in Beyonce. I haven't been on to Beyonce in a very long time. And there's quite a few things that I need to update in here. But I think for now I'm just going to update my show reel of last year, and then I'll see perhaps what else I can update. Um, Especially since my website is like my next big project that I want to overhaul. But I'll probably get to it maybe like 2 3 months down the line, because I basically want to do it from scratch. If that means learning or teaching myself Dreamweaver, I might just have to. But I'm gonna chat to a few devs that I know, um, and yeah, if it's worth it, like creating it in XD, um, even if it's just like a landing page vibe. I want to strip down that website quite a bit, and find like a other place. I don't know. I feel like I should just have like a homepage and a portfolio, uh, ju- just like a one pager. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not. You can hear. I'm still. I'm still not sure. Oh, what I want to do with it. All I know is that I want to. I want to get it off of WordPress. I want to. I want to try something else. I want to host it on something smaller. But yeah, I need to just read up on that a bit. So there is load shedding at 10 o'clock in my area tonight. Um, so I will keep things brief today. It is currently what? It is currently 9:03. Yeah, I think we'll probably chat for about a half an hour still. um, or maybe 45 minutes. I'm not sure. So yeah, I I study 3D design and animation at a place called Prestige Academy. I'm not even sure if they still exist. Um, it's in it's in Belleville, close to Settlers High. It was like a BTEC diploma, and from that, I went to job shadow somewhere in the November of 2007, and then I started working there in the January of 2008, if I'm remembering correctly. So my first show reel, I'm going to show you 4 show reels tonight. I think this is my first one from 2009. I still used Vimeo. Jeez, I haven't even looked at Vimeo in years. It's always been the YouTube. Vimeo is to YouTube what Woolworths is to ShopRite. If you're South African, that makes sense, and I'm not going to explain it anymore. So I'm going to show you Showreel 2009, talk about some of the stuff. Showreel 2010, Showreel 2011. Then there was a 10-year gap. Oh, so many things happened in that 10 years, and we will not talk about it. Lots of ups, lots of downs. Um, but it all worked out okay. I'm still here, still got a decent job. I'm working on myself, improving. So then it is Showreel 2021 and Showreel 2022. So those are the showreels we are going to be watching. Let me just bring that over. Sorry, I didn't mean to open that on this side. We are just making sure that all the engines are running correctly. Anyway, so yes, I started at Libra. The place is called Libra Vision. They're still in existence. Uh, I'm still very grateful for the people that own the place for giving me the opportunity when they did. Little snotgat colored boy straight out of college. Um, it was a good opportunity, but obviously, eventually I had to move on. Learned quite a bit of things there that I still use, that still stuck with me, and it was also my longest job. I worked there for nearly 5 years. Um, on on average, I stay at a place for about 2 3 years, which I personally think is healthy for your career to grow. Uh, my girlfriend is in HR. She's a recruiter, so we usually have heated discussions about um, the topic of like hiring and the job market, because she's obviously on the side of things that us who are looking for jobs you never see. So it's always very heated because she's obviously passionate about what she does. Um, Always very interesting because it's difficult. It's very difficult now, but it always used to be difficult because looking for a job is honestly like dating, because you get so many rejections and you don't really know what's going to happen. It's only later on in your career that you can really start to be picky. So yeah, it was very weird path to get to where I got to now. And I'm very excited for the future because I think the most important thing that's happened this year is I've started to drink um, drink the Kool-Aid, as they say. I've started to believe in myself a bit more. And that's very important because I have a lot of cool ideas, but it always like just lands up on the page if I'm lucky, and never further than that. You have to believe in yourself um, in any sort of career, but definitely as a career in like the creative sphere of things, whether you are an illustrator or a graphic designer or a videographer, or a musician, or if you're me, all of those things, you really have to have hair on your teeth. I'm not saying that you mustn't brush your teeth, but oh, you need to be so strong. And if you aren't, you will learn how to be because you'll get rejected so many times. So yeah, I feel like I talk a little bit about the subject, and then I wildly digress, and then I talk a little bit about the subject, and I wildly digress. So it's like weird sort of spikes. Anyway, whoop, caught that just in time. Ooh, I'm so embarrassed to show this. I think I've been stalling the whole time. But yeah, okay. So this is 2009. I've been working with a 3ds Max here. Um, I was still very new, but trying to do cool things. So I'll play this and then I'll flick through maybe 2 or 3 frames. So yeah, let's have a look. And look, this is obviously mostly the work that was done for the company. My work that I did for the company. So whatever you're seeing on screen, I'm probably did like let's say between 90 and 60%. Usually 100%, but I will stipulate when uh, it was more of a team effort. Yeah, I don't know. I'm giving such a big disclaimer because this stuff looks like it was made in 2009 by the version of me in 2009 that thought he could do everything, but he still had to learn a lot. It's even blurry as well. What P is this? 540p. How far we have come. There's freaking 4K, 8K videos on YouTube right now. Let's have a look. Let me shut up. Play it. Looking for love. Sound of the song, I'm looking for love. Hey, it's the name of the company. Cigarette advertising. Everything is so janky. Oh, I looked at that the other day. It's so bad, that project that I did. Terrible voiceover as well. Can't believe I did somebody stuff. I'm looking for love. So yeah, moving swiftly onto the next one. I think I'll rather just comment as I watch. Okay, let me just check some stuff here quickly. So if there's anything important. I used to do a lot of 3D modeling at Clicks. I don't know why I'm stopping on one of the worst models that you can look at. Um, but yeah, I used to do a lot of 3D modeling. Uh, I used to do I this was at a time before phones looked like this. Before all phones, whoa, that's a lot of shine there. Before all phones looked almost exactly like this. Like this is an older iPhone, but you know that it is an iPhone. Phones used to look wildly different that time. So it used to either be like this, where you'd have like a shell and you would texture over it, or I had to make all of those buttons. Oh, so many buttons. So there was a lot of modeling of phones. There was a lot of where was that now? There was a lot of there was like a radiator or something, an electricity thing somewhere there. Um, yeah, it was just you could see that I was starting out. Okay, 2010, like straight off the bat, the way that this one starts is already a lot more impressive than the other one. This was a flippin' hectic project to do. It's like the flippy boards. Um, and I, I obviously adjusted it here for the show reel, but it was for an engine campaign, some travel, whatever, and it like flipped to the different countries or cities. So anyway, let's have a look, see what it's got. I'll put it softer and then I can chat over it. Yeah, straight into the engine was a big client, probably still is. Here you can see the flippy boards, some more phones. That was a fun video I did for the YouTube for myself. Lots of set building actually as well. I haven't built sets in ages. Okay, I'm gonna pause now. This project I just sort of took over halfway. Someone else built the set or the track and stuff, but it was cool to play around and totally upgrade the car. Then this project was crazy because I had to model up a lot of, like, I'm talking about like 200, 300 different clicks products, because I think this was when they launched their own brand of stuff. That was fun. Ah, Mr. Platonic. I will not be showing that video anytime soon. It's also a wonky music video. This is like a credit card machine. So this is what happened for things like this. I worked with a guy whose name was Jules. So a lot of times, the more After Effects heavy stuff, I would build like the models to use in After Effects. And that time already, he was such a maverick and ahead of his time. He was doing stuff in, what was the software's name? It's not Softimage. Cinema 4D. There we go. He was doing stuff in Cinema 4D that time already, but when the 2.5D was still very rough, so you had to have a lot of plugins and like go-betweens in between Cinema 4D and After Effects. Things are a lot easier now with Video Copilot and things like that. So it's interesting to see how far things have come. Yeah, I'm thinking a lot of stuff. I'm going to keep pushing. This was like a bathroom that I did that's modeled on the bathroom here, where I'm staying at now. And it actually got published in like an online publication. I really need to do arc design more. Especially, I haven't done it in Blender yet. I want to see how powerful Cycles or even Eevee can get with doing a project like this. Stuff up. There's the pretty stuff again. Fascination with oil. stuff. It was like for some roadshow or something like that. This, so the word objects, right? It comes from, it's a portmanteau between arbitrary and subject. So it's arbitrary subjects. So these 3D blocks I did for random objects, which was like an interviewing thing. Couple of interview videos and like topical discussions and things like that I did on my Spinello YouTube so long ago. If I see how the internet has changed and how things are going now, I was doing stuff that people got famous for years afterwards. And hier sit ek nog in my kamer. That was cool shaver that I did it there. Quite nice. Oh my word, that project was such a nightmare. It's basically just a flight case, and it wasn't even for a client. I'm not going to get into the semantics of the nepotism around stuff, but yeah, it was not fun. You'd think that it's just a box, it would be easy to make. It's terrible. That's also from a music video. That's from a meme. That's from a meme video that actually is, I think it's my second most watched video on YouTube. And it was what not to search for on Google with safe search off. Give it a Google. I think what I was doing here is I played the whole of the previous show reel. Oh, my embarrassing business card. Oh, let's skip that. Oh, it's really cool to see how one grows over time with things. Okay, now we're gonna do a massive. No, we're not gonna do the massive leap yet. We're gonna look at Showreel 2011. So things starting to look a little bit better. We've hopped onto 720p now. I can't remember what this was for. I don't know if I built this just for the Showreel. Ooh, sexy music! Looks very cool, actually. From very cool to very terrible. This was so bad. And there was lots of click stuff that I had to do. More click stuff. More flippy boards. I was very proud of that flippy board thing. That was a funny video I shared on Arbjects stuff the other day. Yeah, I probably won't be sharing that anytime soon. But it was a cool video to do. Yeah, I did. This is from like experimental voiceover videos that I did. I need to do more voiceover stuff on Arbjects Media. But I'm kind of waiting to get like a slightly better microphone setup. I nearly got a Artesia little box and a recording bundle, but I decided against it. Because there's lots of potential voiceover stuff that I can do. But for now, I think I'm just going to do silly TikToks with all sorts of weird characters and jingles and things like that for now, I think. But yeah, this style is just, it's like a faux comic style that you would create in Photoshop with the filters. I forget the name of the filters. Filters have such a different meaning now. But it's like filter layers that you put on top of each other, and then you can superimpose effects over effects. So this is like halftone superimposed on, I forget, is it posterize? And it's just effects stacked on top of each other to have that sort of look. Quite cool. More set design. Slow pans on logos. That's 3-at-1. They're actually quite big now. Moving magazines. Some tip stuff. More moving book stuff. stuff. It seems moving books were my fascination with globes. This time I was really struggling to do globes. You can see this is just a texture on on a sphere. Obviously, there are lots of easier ways to do it now, but a couple of years ago, probably like in 2014, 2015 side, I basically drew everything, every single point on the globe, and I created like a proper globe that I still use for various globe projects. Um, so yeah, I think you'll probably see it in future show reels. More set building. Oh, that's just some titles. Ooh, that was what? 3D stroke? Yeah. That was actually a good title. Straight to a boring one. I like this. Ah, embarrassing business card. Go away. Okay, you know what? Let's actually have a look at it. It's already been a trip to embarrassment lane. So you see, the thing is, I still do all of these things, but the whole cool, even though it's quite cool, I've got my, I, that, I have myself playing piano in the reflection there. Nobody likes a braggart, so just do do the stuff instead of bragging about it, because this time I wasn't good, like really good at any of these things. So I think one is very pretentious when one is younger. Ugh. And there's all my links. All of these links are dead now. Reverb Nation, I distribute music straight onto the different streaming platforms that didn't even exist when I did this. Random Objects is now objectsmedia.com, even though the website stuff is still another thing. Um, I mean, Instagram is probably the place where you would do photography the most now. Beyonce is probably where I would. DeviantArt is dead. It's long been dead. Videos, that's the only sort of place that you can that's stood the test of time out of these things. YouTube, although I'm not on that YouTube anymore. I don't really do anything there. I just watch YouTube on that YouTube. And then Twitter, of course, is still, for now, a thing. Elon hasn't destroyed it yet. I'm sure he will eventually. Now we are going to take a leap in time to to 2020. Let me just check something quickly. This full screen, unfull screen this. Okay, we've got that ready. Showreel 2020. Am I getting confused with dates? No, I'm not getting confused with dates. Ooh, our time is getting a bit thin here. We are getting close to load shedding. How embarrassing that would be. Talk, poof, power off. Of course. Sorry, I'm just getting my thoughts and my clicks in order here. Where is the showreel? Okay, there we go. So this is 2020 showreel. Let's have a look. Straight off the bat, things are looking a lot better. So this is a look I created for Black Friday for Cash Crusaders, for work where I'm working now. People like the look so much that we've actually the other designers that work at Cash Crusaders that do like more print sort of stuff, they created a mnemonic for a new sale that's happening now, and they used that logo. So that was pretty cool. Excuse me, I'm gonna cough. They use that logo for. They created that logo in Illustrator for the new sale. All of these stuff, it's fairly new. You probably recognize some of this stuff because I shared it onto Objects Media. That is a smartwatch that I modeled up painstakingly. It's not as nice as I wanted it to be, but I mean, in comparison to the things that you just seen, this is like a massive jump in quality, which is good. It's supposed to be like that. I can't still be as bad as 2011. It's literally been like 10, 11 years. So very happy with how this turned out, and we like shot a full ad. You're gonna see more of it later, of like a guy running and like some light motion graphics over it. It was a cool project. Here's a guy running. Just normal sort of motion for sales, campaigns, campaign animation, the usual retail stuff. Okay, so this was pretty cool. I modeled up this phone from scratch. Was quite a project, but I got the look that I wanted, and it looks pretty cool. Need to do it again for some future Doogee phone stuff, but it just takes too long versus how long you sort of have to do the thing. So you really have that fine balance. Like today, you'll see the video that I share tomorrow. I try to for a newsletter. I was doing like a newsletter automatic mail thing today, and I wanted to do a CG hand holding money like this, a 3D hand, and I tried to build it in the space of 2 days. Was not enough time at all. I ended up using a hand that I built before in Illustrator with money that I built before in Illustrator, and I combined the two, and it did the job. But I really do try to push myself sometimes, especially with character stuff, because I'm not good at character stuff, and I really need to do quite a lot of it. But yeah, excuse me, this ad looked quite cool. This is just normal sort of objects. This you've seen recently. There's the hand with the money. Let me just go back quickly. I'm gonna chat about a few stuff here. So I want to do another scene like this. This was I crapped this out very quickly. I really want to refine the things in here, because everything here was just like three clicks, then it was done, because I had such a small amount of time to put it all together. And then there's the hand with the money. It was modeled on like my hand. I don't know how to turn my hand for you to see, but yeah, it was modeled on my hand. And this money is such a handy thing that I created. So you have to template when you in the line of work that I do. So I will create something once, but I will create it in the way that, especially something like this. Especially something like this, I know that I'm going to be using it quite. I knew that when I created it that I'll be using it quite often. I actually need to put it on the marketplace somewhere, because it's very handy. Because you're not allowed to use the actual money for like legal reasons, so you have to make a representation like this of the money that doesn't look exactly like the money. I'm not sure as to the semantics around it, but that's just how it is. Motion. This was a cool one. I drew up and puppet tooled all of these guys. This one is mostly modeled on me, but all of them I used myself as a reference for. So yeah, pretty cool. That was for Father's Day. So some freelance stuff. I actually want to get one of those. They're quite cool. Shame, Musica has since closed down. Just some more sort of freelance stuff. That was actually the first thing I made in Blender. And it's Corona! What a way to end it. Very savage for that one. to end on Corona. Yeah, we're nearly done. I'm gonna have to wrap this up quickly now because load shedding is coming ever closer to my door. So this is the last one. This is where we are. This is where we were the end of last year. I use this audio also quite often. It's called Pulse. I I haven't sorted out my. I've probably got like an album of royalty free stuff, but like kinda like about 80% ready to um to release, but I really need to just like do some tweaks on them. So yeah, this countdown I tweaked it from what I did for Black Friday last year. Why does it look so pixelated? Give me 1080p. Could be a little bit more not pixelated, but yeah, we'll take what we can get. I feel like I almost need like a whole video for this. This was like an ad I did from scratch for work, and not an ad, a TVC. So it was like fully on TV with my voiceover and everything. It was pretty cool. But this I made at the start of last year already. Character to me is looking like I can do a lot better. So that's good. It's good to look at the things that you do and say, this is where I could improve. That couch I made from, what's his name? Andrew Price, I think his name is, a Blender Guru. I actually need to play around with actually doing more with the knowledge that I learned in that tutorial. So he's just checking his WhatsApp. That was also quite cool. You see, there the money is again just in 3D form. So I used it as a texture, as a material for that. Yeah, these are just some douchey stuff animated in After Effects. Just your normal sort of moving. This was the Black Friday update that I did. I obviously didn't want to make it exactly the same as the year before. So I tried to do something similar but different. I actually did I did quite a few different looks, sent it for approval. I can't remember if this one was the one that I liked the most, but you know how it goes. This was cool. I shot this as part of an ad. Black Fridays things. I'm not going to talk about the dick rockets now, but yeah, that was interesting to model as well. Oh, my mic is falling off. That motion. This one was cool. We're playing around just with like some particles and stuff. I really want to work with particles more. But you see the sort of things that I do, there's not really an opportunity to always do it, and there's not really time to always do it. I've got a bit more RAM now, so I can see how I can push it on my work machine with particles and things like that. But I tried to the other day. I need more RAM. I always just need more RAM. I see some of the simulations that people do online. I don't know what they're packing in their machines to be able to run those simulations. They're either rendering for days at a time for like these 1 minute, 2 minute, 30-second to 1 minute clips, or they've got crazy machines. So this is just video stuff that I did with some motion. That was a very cool scene to model. I built it up from scratch. I think I modeled everything except for the PlayStation controller, which I bought on it's a platform, CG Trader. Yeah. That was just some more motion. Yeah, you can see what's happening there, more motion, the money again. Here's the 3D glow being used just with some different textures. Oh, that was also cool. I really enjoy doing that. That looks dope. It's exactly how it was in my head. And that doesn't really, that doesn't happen quite often. And this is just some more freelance stuff, some more bitty boomer stuff. I actually haven't done stuff with this client, for this freelance client in a while, but it's difficult to do freelance stuff and do all the objects media things at the same time. So I actually don't mind. And that also looked really cool as well. So yeah, things are happening slowly. It's just so hectic to try to keep up with everything. I feel like I need a bit of a rest again after being sick for the last 2 weeks. Like I was sick 2 weeks ago. I fell ill with like various stuff, and then I was sick last week as well. And immediately now, when I'm starting to feel better. I'm immediately throwing myself into everything again. But tomorrow I'm gonna have a bit of a break. I'm going to go watch Thor tomorrow after work. So just gonna have really chill. No. I think I'll probably post for Objects Media lunchtime tomorrow already because I have the stuff ready to post already. Like 3D Thursday stuff. It's the hand that I spoke about earlier. So that uh, that is ready. So I'm not going to be stressing with doing extra Objects Media stuff tomorrow. But yeah, I've been told that I've been speaking softly. It's because the air is drying here in this room because I've had the heater on the whole time to try to warm the room up because it's freaking cold in Cape Town. Let's check the temperature. It's going to be about 8 degrees. So that's not like cold for European or for the North America and those places, but it's cold for my Cape Townian bottom. Anyway, thanks for watching. It was quite embarrassing, but also very interesting to just give a quick squiz over my work over the years. I could easily talk about every single project there for an hour. And there's some stuff that's been left out. Yeah, it's just so much packed into such a short amount of time. But yeah, thank you for watching.